GameRanks presents the top 10 new games of March 2016. Spring months used to be dead months for video game releases, but in 2016, things are really picking up. Got a lot of games to talk about, starting off with number 10. Samaras 3 is releasing for PC and Mac, and this is from the makers of Machinarium and Botanicula. Botanicula? I don't know how to say that. It's obviously a direct sequel to Samaras 2, and it's a point-and-click adventure with some incredible art style. This game series has a cult following for a reason. It's gorgeous, it's quirky, it's cool, and if you like Machinarium, maybe you should jump into this. And at number 9, we have Trackmania Turbo, releasing for PC, Xbox One, and PS4. This is actually the first Trackmania game to hit consoles since Wii. Trackmania Turbo is going to feature 200 tracks, multiple different game modes, multiplayer, and the super impressive track editor. Trust me, this game is amazing for the track editor. If you don't know what I mean, just go on YouTube and look up Trackmania tracks, because there is some insane stuff. Unfortunately, the console versions aren't going to have the really cool mods that can make this game super special, but we're still looking forward to it because it's just a crazy, ridiculous arcade racing game. And we don't get enough of those these days, so what's better than that? And at number 8, we have EA Sports UFC 2, releasing for Xbox One and PS4. This time around, the roster is crazy, featuring over 250 playable characters. Now, what I thought was interesting is that the creative director actually acknowledged that the previous game was a total disappointment because it was pretty unpolished in the combat and lacked any real depth. So they talked about how they're completely working on that this time around with a way more dynamic grappling system that you can't just spam your way out of, general overhauled combat systems, and this cool new custom event system generator where you can kind of make your own headlining pay-per-view matches. So the last UFC game was a complete disappointment, but we're really hoping they can turn it around because UFC deserves a good game. And at number 7, speaking of sports, we have MLB 16, The Show, releasing for PS4 and PS3. Yes, sorry baseball fans, but you better have a PlayStation console because they're exclusive to this. But this time around, you get updated rosters, new modes, more customization, perks, and this simple streamlined modes for people who just want to pick up and play a baseball game. So basically, if you like baseball and you have a PS4 or a PS3, you're getting more baseball. And at number 6, we have Adrift, releasing first for PC with VR support. This game obviously looks to be like an insane VR experience, but whether or not you're playing it on VR, it's a story-based style game where you take control of Commander Alex Oshima as he floats around in zero gravity in a spacesuit. There's 5 different areas with puzzles to solve, bits of story and audio logs to listen to and experience, and most importantly, oxygen to manage, because if you run out of oxygen, you die, and you don't want to die, so pay attention when you play this game. If you've ever wanted a game that really gives you the experience of floating around in space and kind of gives you that stress and tension, Adrift might scratch that itch. It looks pretty cool. And at number 5, we have Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley released for PC actually very late February, but we're putting it on this list because it's good and we wanted to mention it. In Stardew Valley, you inherit your grandfather's farm, a little bit of money, some old tools, and you're placed in this washed up old farm town. It's basically your job to live off the land, build up the farm, raise livestock, and just generally bring the town back to greatness. If it sounds a little bit like Harvest Moon, that's because it is, but there's way more RPG elements here. You get to level up your different skills like farming, crafting, mining, and there's a very big area to explore here. There's a lot of depth to this game, and the best part about it is that it has these great Super Nintendo style graphics that are sprite based, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. So if you haven't jumped on this one yet but you like Harvest Moon style games, we can definitely recommend it. And at number 4, we have Pokken Tournament, releasing for Wii U. This is that Pokemon tournament fighter Tekken style game that we saw pop up on arcades that everyone's been freaking out about, but now it's finally being released on Wii U. The Wii U version is going to feature online battles featuring ranked and friendly matchmaking, as well as if you buy the retail version of the game, you get a Shadow Mewtwo character amiibo card. Some of you might not even know what that means, but don't worry about it. The Wii U version features some exclusive fighters like Mewtwo, Braixen, Garchomp, and I'm sure the game is going to be updated with a bunch more. So basically, if you've ever wanted a Pokemon fighting game, this is your dream come true. And I guess if you think about it, basically Pokemon is a Pokemon fighting game because Pokemon are always fighting. But whatever, if you've ever wanted to do it in a fighting setting similar to Tekken, now your dream is coming true, I promise. And at number 3, we have Black Desert Online. This PC MMORPG is absolutely huge and vast, and you can probably tell just by videos of the character creator. This game is immensely deep with a huge world, a bunch of character customization options, and it just looks like a big, meaty MMORPG. This game has been touted as kind of like a next-gen MMO with more advanced systems, graphics, weather systems, and player housing options. And you know, maybe that's just a marketing buzzword, but the game just does seem really big and huge, and that's why we're talking about it. If you've been wanting to sink your teeth into another big, meaty MMORPG for a while now, Black Desert Online might be it. And at number 2, get ready to potentially get pissed off, we have Hitman on the list. Now, this Hitman has this weird new model, because in March for $15, you really only get the intro to the game and the first main big level. That being said, it is a very huge level with multiple missions within it, and since IO Interactive has been doubling down on the whole sandbox thing, they're hoping that this is going to give you a lot of gameplay time. Myself personally, time will tell. I'm still not sure how I feel about the subscription model. I know a lot of you guys aren't into it, but I have spent some time with the Hitman beta, and just as a regular Hitman game, the gameplay there is really good. If you're not into this whole model of how they're releasing the game, you can probably wait till the end of the year where they release the full game in a physical edition. But since I am a diehard Hitman fan, I am probably going to jump into this and just see what the deal is. Because if it holds up as a good Hitman game, maybe I can look past how they're releasing it. But I don't know. Time will tell. And at number 1, we have Tom Clancy's The Division. Yes, everybody's favorite shooter game that isn't quite an RPG, that isn't quite an MMO, and that isn't quite Destiny, but kind of really is. We're really excited about this game just because it looks cool. New York City in this game looks incredibly well realized. The shooting gameplay is decent, but it has all that loot stuff that is just so addicting. And the Dark Zone is some really awesome PvP fun. Of course, time will really tell if this game can hold up over the time, if they really provide endgame stuff that is worth really sinking your teeth into. But regardless, we're willing to give it a shot because we like shooting people in video games and we like RPG elements. So those are the best games releasing this month, but we have a lot of bonuses. WWE 2K16 is finally releasing for PC. We're also getting an up-res Heavy Rain on PS4. We're getting the HD remake of Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess on Wii U. The most recent Need for Speed is finally making its way to PC. The very good mobile game Republic is finally being fully released on PlayStation 4. And we're getting Resident Evil 6 HD on consoles if that's a thing that you would ever want to bother with. So guys, those are the best games releasing in March 2016. There's a lot of games to play. We want to know which ones you guys are most excited about. There's some controversial games on this list, so I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys will have a lot to say in the comments. Let's talk down there. If you did have a good time with this video that we put out every single month, clicking the like button really helps us out and lets us do more videos. If this is your first time here though, subscribing is a good idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.